I want to start by saying this is the first time that I've been able to publicly thank our first responders in Altadena, so I'm going to ask for your indulgence as this is longer than my usual comments would be. Thank you to Mark and the Tournament of Roses for hosting this well-deserved gathering. It is lovely to be at this historic venue. Both my father and my husband were members. As has become my practice at public events, I ask that we center Altadena, the 19 lives lost in the Eden fire, and the Altadenans that are still suffering in the fire's aftermath. I also want to acknowledge the council members here with me today. I see you and I love you. When I was first invited to attend this event representing the town council, I made sure Altadena's first responders were included. I'm grateful to the tournament for including them, and I'm heartened to see many of them here today with their families. Their service and sacrifice deserves to be honored. The night of the fire is now a forever memory. In the media, the adjectives most often used to describe this fire are deadly, post-apocalyptic, unprecedented, intimidating, extreme, massive, historic, harrowing, chaotic, and catastrophic. The single adjective most often used in the media to describe the actions of our first responders, heroic. Among those leading the response in Altadena was Assistant Fire Chief Pat Sprengel, whose leadership helped guide fire crews through harrowing and uncertain conditions. They worked continuous shifts, sometimes for days and even weeks, before finally going home to rest. Pat drove through town himself, unable to see ahead of the hood of his truck, with ash and embers raining down, to knock on doors, physically carry people out of their homes, and escort drivers out of town. Also on duty was relative new arrival to Altadena Station, then Lieutenant Ethan Marquez. He was on duty that night and for many nights following, ensuring that deputies, or he himself, often running on almost no sleep, were in our neighborhoods, driving through flames and danger to make sure our residents evacuated safely and that the town was as safe as it could be. He was responsible for locking down the town and keeping it secure in those early days. Please join me in congratulating him on his recent promotion to captain of Altadena Station. And, led by Captain March, CHP assisted the sheriff's station with evacuation efforts and manned the road closures with the National Guard for the security and protection of Altadena. Since the fire, the station created the Altadena Task Force, deploying a number of personnel 24/7 to Altadena for crime suppression. I will not and do not subscribe to any narrative that discounts their bravery or their sacrifices. Yes, as with any disaster, there are lessons to be learned in hindsight. And yes, as we better understand the failures, we will create processes to address them. But there should be no doubt that the action of these men and women saved hundreds of Altadenans, whether physically carrying people to safety, ushering out terrified families trying to evacuate, guiding out owners with their horses, Pat, and securing the town. In the 8 months since the fire, I have also felt something larger, a collective desire to put our arms around Altadena, to protect our community from further harm. As we move into the long road of recovery and rebuilding, we know it will take the effort of all of us. But that work is only possible because of the care, courage, and dedication of our first responders. And if I may end on a personal note, I stand here not only as the chair of the Altadena Town Council, but as an Altadena Eden fire survivor myself. On the night of the fire, and in the long, painful days and weeks after, it was your voices, and your courage that carried me through. You protected neighbors and neighborhoods, the town, and you protected me. You are my partners in this work, my strength when my own is in short supply, and friends who I know care about my recovery and that of our beloved town. Please know how meaningful your support is to me. On behalf of Altadena and Altadenans, and from the deepest place in my own heart, thank you.